Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Manic Candace podcast. It's your girl Candace back at it again with a brand new episode of the podcast. And today, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, this good night, we are on video. Specifically, we are on Zoom. But in some platforms, we're going to be audio only, like Apple Podcasts and I think Google Podcasts and Amazon. But on Spotify and on YouTube, we are on video. Hi, nice to see you. Nice to see a face, isn't it? Um, I'm not used to this. I apologize for any notifications. I thought I put everything on Do Not Disturb, so please bear with me. All right, I put my laptop on Do Not Disturb. My setup is crazy. I have two lights. I have a phone. I have my laptop. I have a monitor. I have a webcam. I have a lot of things. And tonight I'm going to be painting my nails black. I don't have a camera for that, maybe one day. But I want to discuss my Ozempic journey. Yes, since August of last year, I've been on Ozempic and I have lost, I want to say 50 pounds. Um, I am about to get my period, so I gained 4 pounds this week. So I'm not counting my latest weigh-in. Um, What I am going to count though is my weigh-in prior to my weight gain of 4 pounds this week. And I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, the what I wish I knew before I started Ozempic, what I wish I knew as far as like tips on how to lose weight on Ozempic. I know that sounds stupid because you take Ozempic to lose weight. And a lot of people think that you just take the shot and that's it. Um, and that's not everything. It's you have to diet, you have to exercise, you have to change your life, essentially. If I go back to the same habits that I had prior to being successful, keyword successful on Ozempic, I will gain every pound back. Um, at some point and in any form of weight loss that you choose, you're going to have to accept that you're going to have to make a lifestyle change. You have to change the way you eat. You have to change the way you view your relationship with food. How often you eat, how much you eat, what you eat is all going to have to change or be modified enough for you to see results. In the beginning, I was on Ozempic for the majority of 2024. So from about January to August of 2024, I was on Ozempic, but I was eating whatever I wanted. I still had the habits that put me at 227 pounds. That was my highest weight. I am now 50 pounds less than that, so 27. Last time I checked on the scale was about 180. So about almost 50 pounds. I want to say 50 pounds, give or take. So when I get off my period, I lost 50 pounds. Okay. It's such a milestone. I've been wanting to lose weight for good, like my whole life. And I finally reached a point where I waited until technology and science caught up with the demands of obesity because I was obese at 227 and 5'9.5". Um, I got lucky. There's a lot of people who died prior to Ozempic that wish that they had a drug where you could inject yourself and you could feel full faster and therefore lose weight faster and lose weight overall. As I got older, it got harder for me to lose weight, especially the closer I got to 30. I'll be 30 in 2 weeks, you guys. Um, but the closer I get to 30 and the closer I got over the past couple years, I noticed my metabolism slowing down. And it sucks. It sucks so bad because honestly, when I was a teenager, I could lose 5 pounds overnight if I just fasted for the day. Now I struggle with the fast and I don't lose 5 pounds. I'll maybe lose 2 pounds, maybe three. I'll talk about fasting and different strategies that I use. And be aware, I'm not a doctor. I'm just someone who has a former eating disorder, found Ozempic, and I will say my eating disorder is probably back. So take my advice with a grain of salt. When it comes to weight loss, at least. I am not a doctor. I my advice is probably not the healthiest. But if you want results, just maybe follow my advice. Get on Ozempic. Number one, lose the weight. Your weight can hinder you if it's not in your favor, meaning if you are dissatisfied with the number on the scale, if you don't like your dress size, if you feel fat every day, if you just feel fat, that's enough for you to lose weight, for you to want to lose weight, right? So get that out of the way. There's so much thought and negative belief and negative energy surrounding being fat and being uncomfortable in your own skin, that something as simple as weight loss is something that you can control. You can take care of this. So get all this negative energy and negative mental focus of your weight out of your mind so you can focus on things that really matter. Money, making money, your creative projects, your family. Weight is such a trivial subject that shouldn't, like, I've spent majority of my life pondering my weight, obsessing over my weight, wishing my weight were different. Instead of, well, and majority of that time was spent on that when the majority of the time I should have been spent on focusing on solutions. So now that I'm solutions focused, I can afford Ozempic. I will say I am in a position where I can afford Ozempic. It's about $500 a month for 2 vials of the medicine, and I take about zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.3 milligrams a week, one injection per week. And I do experience side effects. I will talk about that. But for a long time, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't experiencing results because I didn't change my lifestyle. And no matter what type of weight loss regimen that you choose, you're going to have to modify your lifestyle. And if you want to keep those results, you're going to have to maintain that lifestyle. Does that make sense? I know it sucks, but it's what you got to do. There's no way around it. Weight loss, I learned it's literally calories in versus calories out. And there are good versus bad calories, I will argue. Um, but it is calories in versus calories out. Sugar has a big impact, salt has a big impact on your weight retention, water retention, and also your cravings. I would not recommend getting on Ozempic and continuing a diet of sweets and sugar and baked goods because although you feel fuller off Ozempic, you don't want your main source of food, which is very limited while you're on Ozempic, to be donuts, to be pizza, to be burgers, to be fast food, to be, if you wrote anything like me, nerds gummy clusters, you can't do that. You're gonna waste your money and you're gonna waste your time. I spent a year in the 190s range. I would constantly go from 199 to 205 back to the 190s. I'd always end up in the 190s. Now I'm about to be in the 170s. And that's so, I've been there before, so I'm not like celebrating, but like once I get into the 140s, I haven't been in the 140s since I was in high school. And I know some of you are like, how skinny do you want to be? Skinny, deathly ill. I'm just kidding. I don't want to be skinny to the point where I look deathly ill. I want to be skinny to the point where I don't have to worry about an unflattering side profile or when I sit down or I just I don't have a weight number or a size in mind because from experience, I learned that that can be pretty toxic and counterproductive to the overall goal. The goal is to look good. The goal is to feel good to feel good in my own skin. And the smaller I get, the more comfortable I am getting in my own skin. Like I am on camera now. I think that's a testament to the what Ozempic has done for me. Um, Side effects are there. You can, and most likely, if you, especially in the beginning, understand that your portion size is going to shrink drastically while you're eating on Ozempic, especially the day of and the immediate day after your injection. I experienced nausea and vomiting during my year journey, my year and a half journey on Ozempic. 1 year taking it seriously and seeing results. I am on my fourth round of Ozempic, so I've spent $2,000 to date to lose 50 pounds. And that's something that you're gonna have to expect is that you're gonna lose 10 to 20 pounds per set of Ozempic. Like I said, my Ozempic comes in two vials. Um, and I take zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.3 milligrams. And it matters where you inject. So I lift my belly and I inject as close to my pubic area, but still in my lower belly, and I inject under that area. And it's been the most effective for me. I am not hungry. I don't experience hunger pains. I don't experience the feeling of hunger. I do experience a feeling of fullness hours after I ate, sometimes even to the next morning. Um, I will burp as if I ate too much and I need to throw up. But don't eat yourself past the point of what you are feeling because you do feel full pretty quickly during your time on Ozempic. It is a Hail Mary to those that are tired of working out and not seeing results, or for those of us that are lazy. I will admit, I was lazy. I am lazy. I don't like to work out. And the most I work out, I walk to work every day, but I live downtown. Um, I'm lazy. I don't get the recommended minimum three times a week for 20 minutes. The thought of exercise dreads me, and I know I need to get on it because I'm getting older and I don't want to think about things other than my weight that exercise can benefit, right? Like my joints, my hips, my back, my ligaments, my muscles, all those good things that exercise can do for those areas. It's not all about weight when it comes to exercising. Um, Something I should have told myself earlier. Ozempic is for those of us that are tired. Ozempic is for those of us where diet and exercise are no longer working. Ozempic is for those of us who have 5 pounds to lose and those of us who have 100 pounds to lose. I don't think Ozempic should be limited to people with diabetes. America has a problem, an obesity problem. We have a weight problem. We're fat. Okay. And in another episode, I will talk about what it's like to be fat, but in a more focused way. And I want to title it When You're Fat. And I want to focus on experiences, contrast to being thinner, which is being fat. So I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that. But I'm still taking notes and taking inventory of the past and present. Because I am being treated differently now by strangers, primarily because of my weight loss, I feel like. So I'm taking note of just all the nuances that I'm noticing. For example, people opening the door more, people joking with me, more people flirting, um, strangers complimenting me, things like that. Things that didn't happen when I had 50 pounds more on my body. How are you guys liking the video? Do you like my little this thing? Do you like that? Do you like this podcast format. I'm trying different things. I don't have a microphone. I'm using my laptop microphone. I think I'm projecting well enough, but if I'm trying to find a mic, finding a microphone has been trial and error for me. I have purchased microphones in the past that have not worked. I'm putting glitter on my fingers because this nail polish, although it is fast drying, it's fast wearing. Like it chips really fast and wears off fast, if that makes sense. Um, I was on the phone with my friend the other night who's, I will share, family member is on Ozempic, has been on Ozempic for a couple years, and is very thin for their frame. This person I know, they are really tall. And the last time I saw them, which was on Thanksgiving of 2024, yeah. They were, to me, they were thin. They looked good prior to being overweight and obese. Like they looked good. I was on the phone with my friend and she gave me an update of that person, and lo and behold, she thinks that they are going too far with Ozempic. And that's something that I discussed is that I don't want to go too far. Granted, I have a history of anorexia. I am recovered. I've been recovered for over 15 years. But it's been a struggle the past 15 years. Briefly, I'll share. My relationship with food had to be amended. It had to be corrected, and it had to this day, it's not perfect, but it's far from what it used to be. My relationship with food. It used to be really negative, really restrictive, and really controlling, hence restrictive. But I want to emphasize that there was a big push on control when it came to my relationship with food, and I had to be the one in control. And if I wasn't, then I would suffer the emotional consequences of weight gain. Weight gain was the worst thing that could happen to me at one point in time. Even sometimes today, I'm still struggle. I'm in recovery. I'll always be in recovery when it comes to my eating disorder. Was it a smart choice for me to get on Ozempic with my eating disorder history? I think so. I think it's on an individual case by case basis. That if you have a history with anorexia or bulimia or binge eating, it's something that you're gonna have to definitely address before you get on Ozempic. Because if you get on Ozempic, you're just gonna abuse it just like any other diet trick that you tried. Um, Eating disorder, when you're involved in an eating disorder actively, there are a lot of tips and tricks that you have developed over the years that can get you to lose weight like that. But the problem is you're hungry. The problem is your body needs food to survive. That's the problem. And you restrict so much that you tend to binge on high dense calorie foods or high calorie dense foods, however you want to say it. Um, So yeah, that's my brief synopsis and history with anorexia and the complications it could have provided on my Ozempic journey. Is it easy to starve on Ozempic? Yes, it's very easy to starve. Like I said, you don't experience hunger pain. You tend to experience nausea and vomiting if you ate too much. And what is too much? I would say my portions went from the size of both of my palms. So put both of your palms together. That would be like the size of my protein. Like if I went out to eat for a steak or something, it is now half the size of my palm. I get kids menu items when I go out to eat for lunch. And it's the perfect amount. Chipotle kids menu, shout out to Chipotle, 546 for a kids quesadilla with three sides. You can get, look at me, I'm advertising. But you start ordering from the kids menu. You start eating less. Like you don't like I have apples in my fridge right now, and that's all I have. And I'm not worried because I'm fasting and I like my craving for a lot of food has gone away. There's a reason why I got to 227 pounds. It's because I ate a lot. I ate enough to gain myself that much. For a long time, from adolescence to teenage years to early adult years, I was around 186. I would always weigh 186. My body was comfortable at 186. Um, and I think just due to getting older and building up stress hormones and um, eating so close to bedtime and being inactive caught up with me, and I blew up to 227 pounds, size 14, very tight, size 14. Extra large, double X. I was shopping plus size on Shein, and I was extremely, extremely, extremely unhappy. All of my efforts to lose weight were in vain. I didn't want to exercise, but I wasn't coming to the terms with the fact that I couldn't diet my way out of this because I would eat sugar. I had an addiction to sugar that I haven't addressed yet, and I had very bad eating habits that I developed in college and that I carried with me throughout my post-college years. So if it wasn't for Ozempic coming on the scene, I think I would still be 227 pounds, if not heavier. So like I said, I believe this drug should be available to anyone, any adult or child that needs it, wants and needs it. If this option were available to me when I was a child, um, I'm not gonna debate on an appropriate age to begin Ozempic, but it would have saved me a lot of grief. It would have. Like I said, I spent a majority of my life thinking and obsessing over my weight, over my body. And something so quick as Ozempic can just take all that away and leave my mind room to focus more on things that matter, that really, really matter. Um, so I encourage you, if you want to lose weight, if you are struggling to lose weight, if you can afford Ozempic currently at its price, at its current market price, which is about $500 average a month, do it. You owe yourself this. Like, I don't care. I've come on this podcast and contradicted myself many times, but in January of either this year or the year before, I said, don't get on Ozempic. I take that back. Look at me. I know there's no before to compare, but I am 5'9", about 180 pounds, maybe less, but I lost 50 pounds and I'm not gonna lie, in a year because it took me a year to get a grip on what to do, and I'll share that with you now. Water, lots and lots and lots and lots of water. Even if you think you drink enough water, like I have a Stanley cup, okay? It holds 40 ounces. I'll drink three of these. Get powdered green tea. Green tea is a fat burner, it's a natural fat burner, but if you drink it hot, it's sometimes inconvenient and it's summertime, right? So what I like to do is I take my powdered green tea and I just put ice in here and I put water in here and I just shake it up and I drink it all day. Gives me energy, keeps me focused, and helps me lose weight. Celsius drinks. I don't know what's in those. Don't drink more than two or three at a time. Celsius and Alani drinks. I think they're pre-workout drinks. I could be wrong, but I believe they are. They helped me tremendously in curbing my appetite, curbing my cravings for sweets, and encouraging weight loss. Baked potatoes. I would eat one big baked potato for dinner or for lunch or sometimes for the entire day. Um, if you eat in let's say if you eat at 12 p.m., you'll be full till 3 a.m. Don't think about food. develop a habit of like decentering your life away from food. Those of us that are obese, those of us that are good candidates for Ozempic currently. I mean, it doesn't matter if you need to lose 5 pounds, but those of us who are gonna spend the money and you know, this is our for a lot of us, Ozempic is our last resort because we've tried the diets, we tried the intermittent fasting, we tried the Tony Fine meal plan. We tried it all. And frankly, some of us wouldn't mind a fast, quick solution, an overnight solution, if you will. Um, if you hear my washer in the background, I apologize. I'm testing out audio, like I said earlier. But, another thing that I realized that I needed to do on my Ozempic journey is exercise. I don't think about it too much these days because I walk to work and it's been that way for about a couple months. But before that, I had bought a treadmill where I was walking 10,000 steps a day. I had been more active and walking to the grocery store, walking to get a matcha. And for those of you who don't know, I got in a big car accident, so I don't have a car and I don't plan on buying one soon. Because I don't need one living downtown. Would I like one? Yeah, that would be nice, but I'd only be visiting people 20 minutes away and I can just take an Uber and stay for a car. Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm walking more. I'm more active. And that has had a huge impact on my weight loss journey with Ozempic. I have had moments where I'm like, wow, I can fit this dress, or I look better in this outfit, or I don't see my double chin anymore. Like there's a lot of like winning moments throughout my Ozempic journey that just made it all the more worth it to me. And I think it'd be if you're on the fence about it because you don't want to tell, first of all, it's nobody's business except yours. If you want to tell people, that's up to you, but be open to scrutiny. Be open to people saying you don't need to lose weight or you don't need Ozempic. They're just haters. Don't listen to them. Do what's right for you. And I hope that I can provide, or I hope that I have provided some insight with my own journey. My journey isn't over. I will have a part two to this, so we'll call this my Ozempic journey part one. It's just the introduction. I want to get more acquainted with the Zoom platform, and I want to share pictures of like before and after because I am keeping track with photos. Um, and maybe I'll record one of my injection days. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. This is Candace with the Manic Candace podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for um watching. Please share this episode with your friends, family, and your followers. Leave a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow us on the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whenever and wherever you're listening, me's and me's. And I bid you adieu. Bye-bye.